9th Annual Milwaukee Sentinel Winnebagoland Outboard Marathon, sanctioned by the American Powerboat Association and sometimes called the Kentucky Derby of Outboard Racing, is set for Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, June 30th. Drivers arrive early and make their practice runs on Saturday in preparation for the big race on Sunday. The pit area is quiet on Saturday evening, the night before the race. The official crash boat of the American Powerboat Association, Region 7, helps make last-minute arrangements. The old-timers get together to talk over the fine points of their boats and engines and to make predictions on who the winners will be. Some 221 of the best outboard racers in the country have gathered for the annual event. Now it's Sunday morning, and 30,000 people are at Fond du Lac to watch the start, with 70,000 more along the course. The drivers gather to hear the rules and regulations from the officials of the APBA. Air Sea Rescue Coordinator Leo Proman points out the course to drivers. From Fond du Lac at the foot of Lake Winnebago, the 88-mile route leads to Oshkosh, through the Fox River into Lake Butamore and Lake Fuegan, then up the Wolf River to Fremont, and back to Fond du Lac over the same course. The race is on. The big boats, classes C, 36, and D, cross the starting line on the rough, tough 88-mile grind as a stiff breeze whips up whitecaps on the lake. Some drivers elect to hug the west shoreline to escape the battering waves. Some try the route up the middle of the lake. 221 of the best stock outboard racers in the nation start in the annual event in 5 classes. Soon, the point opposite Sawyer's Islands is left behind, and the field is spreading out. Passing Point LaBelle, the field streaks for the mouth of the Fox River at Oshkosh. The D boats begin to take over from the C boats and the 36 class. They thread their way through spectator boats. Minutes after the big motor classes get underway, the starter's cannon booms for the start of the smaller A and B boats. The wind is still whipping in from the northwest. Rough water threatens to swamp the little boats even before they reach the starting line, and spectators are treated to quite an exhibition of boat handling skill. The mighty mites streak away with flashing tails of white water pluming behind them. In just a few minutes, the field is strung out as the little bouncing bees skip and splash northward across Lake Winnebago on the dash to Oshkosh, Winneconne, and the turnaround point at Fremont. Meanwhile, the first D boats enter the Fox River at Oshkosh. The drivers welcome the comparative calm of the river. Ted Moberg, Jr. of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, is in the lead and is first to pass under the Highway 41 bridge at the southern end of Lake Butamore. Northbound on Lake Butamore, Bob Jacobson of Flint, Michigan, in his ever-dependable D-class rig, Jumping Jake, begins to press the leaders. He was the 1956 Winnebagoland winner. At marathon know-how is evident in the beautiful performance of his rig. Moberg still leads the D-boats at the entrance to Lake Winneconne. Only minutes later, Bob Jacobson takes over the lead when Moberg hits an obstruction. Entering the Wolf River through Boom Bay Cut, Jacobson is well ahead and moving at a fast pace in the smooth water. Hugging the shoreline of the Wolf River near Fremont, Jacobson edges very close to the weed beds and shallow spots, but never quite touches them. He seems to have an uncanny instinct for sensing the underwater topography, one of the fine points which makes the difference between winning and losing marathons. Just north of the Highway 10 bridge at Fremont, a buoy marks the turnaround point, 44 miles from Fond du Lac via the Marathon route. Jacobson has a comfortable lead as he makes his turn around the buoy and starts his dash back to Fond du Lac, passing northbound drivers. At Boom Bay Cut, a channel for river traffic in bygone days when freight and passenger traffic used the Marathon course, connects the North Wolf River with Lake Poygon. The D&C boats are already on their southbound return run, which creates an interesting traffic situation with the smaller A and B boats still northbound. This, of course, is no problem to the expert Marathon drivers who merely observe the established rules of waterway safety and courtesy. Meanwhile, back at Fond du Lac, enthusiastic spectators line up for free rides on boats powered with the same Mercuries that are in the race, plus new 60-horsepower models. This lady uses Quicksilver outboard oil to help her get a tan while waiting for the racers. Before the start of the race, the pit area was a beehive of activity. Now it is silent and almost deserted with the drivers on the course. Still in the lead, Jacobson passes under the Wolf River Bridge at Winneconne, heading for Oshkosh. At Oshkosh, he will enter Lake Winnebago for the final dash to the finish at Fond du Lac. With victory almost assured, Jacobson is in the final run across Lake Winnebago. Franklin Geinger of Euclid, Ohio, is leading in Class C. The scoreboard keeps spectators and crew members informed of race standings as relayed by shortwave radio. Radio reports tell of the leading boats nearing the finish. The crowd waits expectantly. And here comes Bob Jacobson with his Mercury-powered rig for his second straight Winnebagoland Marathon victory with a time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, 29 seconds. He manages a victory smile as he hobbles stiffly on the inspection barge helped by APVA officials. Bobby Robbins of West Suffield, Connecticut, second place. He later won the Grand National Marathon in August. John Johnson of Kenosha, Wisconsin takes third place. C winner Franklin Geinger in a new Class C record. Class 36 winner Ron Rake of Springfield, Illinois was in 17 minutes later. Here's Class B winner Phil Van Sickle of Battle Creek, Michigan. Second place in Class B, Bob Granska of Neenah, Wisconsin. This driver lost in his duel with the waves of Lake Winnebago. 17-year-old Craig DeWald of Reading, Pennsylvania comes in first in Class A. This was his third victory in the Winnebagoland Marathon. Second place Class A driver Douglas Pattison. At the inspection dock, APVA officials hoist winning and placing boats and motors out of the water for the inspection. 86 finished of the 221 starters in the race that is known for its rough water. Officials inspect the motors and boats for possible deviations from stock specifications. Rules are strict and rigidly enforced to make the sport as fair and safe as possible. Winner Jacobson is congratulated by Carl Kiekafer, Mercury outboard manufacturer. Congratulations and a key to the city of Fond du Lac come from Mayor Capelli. Mrs. Jacobson rewards Jake with a traditional victory kiss. Jacobson, with his prizes, topped by a 60-horsepower Mercury, awarded for being the overall winner. First-place winners in each class. For his third win in Class A, Craig DeWald took possession of the Merrill Jensen Memorial Award. Race over, a tired father and proud son get ready for the homeward trip, making plans for next year's Milwaukee Sentinel Winnebagoland Outboard Marathon.